Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a Q&A, and this is specifically a marriage and relationship Q&A. Let's just get right into this video. Question number 1. Are you afraid of the change that comes with marriage? So short answer, no. Change is inevitable and we just have to accept it. And right now I'm trying to put myself in the frame of mind where I'm accepting all the change that comes my way, because with what's happening in 2020, everything has had to change. So all of the plans that I had have to change. And marriage is just a change. It's like a status update then. We're no longer just in a relationship. We're now married. He is my husband and I'll be his wife. So I'm not afraid of it. I'm excited for it, and I am going to accept all the changes that come my way with marriage. Question number 2. When are you happiest? So I'm going to be honest with you guys, because I am trying to be more honest on this channel. I have not been exceptionally happy for a while now. I've been dealing with a lot of loss. So I've not been as happy as I can be. But when I'm at my happiest right now is when I'm spending time with my nephews. They just make me laugh. They just do the funniest things. So being with them at this point in time, the way I'm feeling right now, that is when I'm actually my happiest. Question number 3. What change are you most excited about after marriage? So I know it's just asking for one change, but I have 3 changes. And the first one is something that we actually have talked about a lot, my fiance and I. Not having to text each other good morning and good night anymore, because it's been 7 years. So that's a very long time to be texting. Other couples might have the opportunity to spend the night together and wake up every morning and see each other, but we never had that opportunity. So that is something that I'm extremely excited about, to just roll in the morning and, blow my stink breath on him and be like, good morning, and just annoy him. And another thing that I'm very excited about is traveling. We're both very adventurous, and I love traveling. I love going to new places, and he also loves to travel. So it's a dream of ours to be able to travel, because we've never been somewhere just the two of us. So that's something we are very excited about. And then the last thing that I am excited about is being able to finally start a family of my own, to have my own babies, for us to be able to create something together. That is something that I'm really looking forward to. I always wanted a family, and I just think he's the perfect person for me to start that life with. Number 4. What is your biggest fear in life? I have 2 fears, and the first one is that I am afraid of dying. And not that I'm afraid of death personally. I know I have to die. I'm willing to embrace it, whatnot. But what I'm talking about is dying and leaving my family to more. Like, I don't want my family to have to hurt because of me. And I know death is the one thing that makes people hurt the most. And I don't want to be the reason that they hurt like that. And then my other fear is not being accepted into the kingdom of God. It's because I've been raised as a Christian. It is something that I want, and I know that I am not sinless. I know that I commit sins. I've done all the wrong in the world, but God is a forgiving God, and I'm hoping that when that time comes, that He does forgive me for everything that I do, and He accepts me into His kingdom. But question number 5. How long do you think a couple should be together for before they start considering tying the knot? So, when my fiance and I were together for about 3 or 4 years, we actually were going to get married. We knew we wanted to marry each other, but I was still studying, and he had just gotten a new job. And so, we might have been there mentally, but financially, we were not prepared to be married, because our big plan was to go marry secretly, and then he goes home and I come home, but we would be married. What I'm trying to say is, there is no specific time that any couple should decide whether they're ready to get married. There could be a couple that's together for 1 year and they know that they want to marry each other and they start planning right away. And then there could be a couple that's together for 7 years and now we are finally getting married. There is no specific time. It's not written in stone that you should be married if you're together for 10 years, 20 years. It's what you want to do as a couple. You have to make that decision. But there should be certain things that you consider before you decide to get married. Do you have the financial stability to be able to have a family, to run a home? Do you have the mindset that it's no longer about me, it's now about somebody else too? You have to consider, you have to start changing your mindset to not be selfish, but to start incorporating another person into your decision making. If you truly want to get married, that as a couple you need to realize that compromising is extremely important. So once you're able to compromise, you have your plans, your financial plans, you both have similar goals and what you want to achieve, then go ahead. No one is stopping you. You know what you as a couple have been through, and if you're ready, then go right ahead. There is no time frame. I cannot tell you that you should wait until you are together for 3 years before you decide to get married. Every couple is unique. You and your significant other will know the moment you truly decide that, we're ready to get married. This is it. Let's go right ahead. Question number 6. Do you want children? And if so, how long after the marriage would be ideal for you? So yes, I want children. I love children. They are the pride and joy. They are pride and joy. And my nephews and nieces just make me want to have children more. So yes, I want to have children. My fiance and I, we have discussed, having children and how many children we want to have and so on. We've not set a time. It's all in God's time. We are ready whenever He decides to give us. All we pray for is that when He decides to bless us with children, that we are stable enough to look after and be able to provide everything that our children need. Question number 7. How and when did you know that he was the one? I have always been a prayerful girl, especially when it came to relationships. And for a very long time, I've been in a lot of relationships. I'm not afraid to say that. I have been in a lot of relationships. But every time I got into a relationship with somebody, I would always pray. I would say, God, and it would always be the same prayer over and over again. And I remembered, I would say, God, if this person is not for me, then just remove them from my life. Please don't let me grow any strong feelings towards them. Just remove them from my life. As easy as they came, please let them leave, right? And I would see relationship after relationship, these people would just show interest and then they would go. And I'd be like, it's all God's plan, whatever. Then I went through something in my life that was really hard. And I felt really low. And then I felt like nobody cared about me. And that was it. And I met Shamroy. That's the name of my fiance, by the way, Shamroy. I met him. And he was different. He was a Christian. He was a very church-oriented guy, but he wasn't from my church. I felt so comfortable telling him everything that happened to me and how I was feeling, and he never judged. He never judged me. He just, why do I want to cry? He accepted me the way that I was. And in back then, it was if your relationship could survive it 3 months, that was the thing. 3 months is the probation period. If your relationship could survive 3 months, then it's gonna last, right? That was my mindset. But he was there after 3 months, and I was like, is this really going to last? When we started, honestly, I thought that the relationship would not last because I am a very toxic person. But he stayed. And then he was supposed to migrate. And when he told me that, at that moment, I felt like I don't want to lose him. He's just too important for me to lose. I cannot see a future without him in it. And we weren't even a year together as yet when he told me he might be migrating. But in my heart, I felt like I cannot see the rest of my life without him. And I can't tell you the exact moment that it happened, but I do remember that the time when I fell in love with him, when I actually said I love you. It was to myself, actually. I was in my room and I was just laying on my bed and I was just thinking about him, and then in my mind I was like, I really love him. And like, I shocked myself when I said it, right? I was like, wait, what did I just say? It was like something so unconscious. Like, it wasn't something that I forced myself to say then. It just came out. And then I was like, wait, I love him. This is really stupid, I know. I knew he was the one when he stayed with me. When he didn't judge me for everything that happened to me. When he never turned up his nose on me. And even though I wasn't, the kind of girl that he pictured for himself, instead of turning away from me, he's made me somebody else, somebody that I am happy to be then. He has made me into the person I've always wanted to be. I believe that everyone is going to have that feeling. Everyone will know the moment when they meet that person that they're supposed to spend the rest of their life with. And sometimes it's not necessarily a significant other, somebody that you're supposed to be in a romantic relationship with. Sometimes it's a friend. But everybody has somebody. And he is the person that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. So the next question. What advice would you give to a couple that wants to start their life during this pandemic? Just go ahead. Don't let this pandemic stop you. Because bad things are always going to be happening in the world. Some tragedy is always going to be happening. And if we wait for the perfect time, then we're going to be waiting forever. So if you and your significant other wants to start a life together, go right ahead. Question number 9. What was your biggest fear in a relationship and how did you overcome it? So when we were a boyfriend and girlfriend, my biggest fear was the way that I looked. I always tended to compare myself to other people. Maybe somebody that he was with in the past, or some girl that's just randomly walking on the road. I always had this insecurity that I wasn't good enough. And I'm not going to say that I overcame this by myself, because I did not. He helped me along the way. He would make me feel beautiful even when I don't think I was beautiful. And he made me accept my body for the way that it is, because he would tell me he doesn't want anybody else. He loves me just the way I am. He loves me with my natural hair. He loves me that I'm skinny. He just loves me this way. And with him encouraging me and being by myself, that's the way I was able to overcome it. And I also prayed that God would just make me not envious of other people anymore, and just accept my body the way that it is, accept my face the way that it is. And it was not until I started working, I think, that is when I stopped being as insecure as I was. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I got into the real world, but that was the only way. It was until I started working, that's when I started feeling less insecure about my body. But right now, my biggest fear is not being able to have children. It has always been my dream to be a mother, and it hurts to know that it doesn't happen for a lot of women. I want it to happen for me. I never told anybody about it, and then I told him. I said, I'm afraid I might not be able to have children, and there is nothing in this world that will make me feel it. Like, nothing happened to make me think that I wouldn't be able to have children. But a lot of women, nothing has happened and they just aren't able to have. So I told him, and he said, it doesn't matter. He told me that he loves me, and even if that nightmare becomes a reality, we will still be able to have a family. There are other ways, there are other options. So it's like, the way that I overcame that is that I just leaned on him as a support, and I prayed and I said, God, just allow me to accept whatever your plan is, because there's so many children that need parents. Maybe I might be a mother to someone else's child one day. So right now, that is my biggest fear, not being able to have children. What's one thing you're looking forward to as a married woman? For this question, one thing I'm just looking forward to is just being able to wake up every morning next to the man that chose me and the man that I chose, and just being able to be in love and loving to love each other, and learning to love each other a new way every day. The last question is, it's a funny question. It's how are you so amazing and talented? I don't know. I'm not. Actually, I am not. I'm like everybody else, just a normal girl. But I decided that I wanted to come on this platform to be able to share my story and be able to give advice and be the person that I needed when I was going through a lot of things in my life. On this note, I want to start doing more, like talks on this channel. So if you have topics that you want me to talk about, you could just message me and I will make a note of it, and then I'll do a video on it. So I don't know, I guess God just blessed me. With whatever talent you're seeing or whatever amazement you think I have. But yeah, that's the last question. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really enjoyed filming this video. I don't know, I was super excited about filming it, and I am so happy that I was able to answer the questions that you had. So I will see you in another video. Have a faithfully blessed day. Bye guys.